Tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Now, 2,600 years ago, that is in the year 588 BC, our Buddha became fully enlightened as a Buddha. And 2 months after his enlightenment, he gave his first sermon at the Deer Park near Varanasi. And that sermon is called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. It means turning the wheel of the Dhamma, turning the wheel of the Dhamma. And in this first discourse, the Buddha described or proclaimed the 4 Noble Truths. And these 4 Noble Truths, they are the greatest universal truths. And it is very, very amazing, because if we can understand these 4 Noble Truths in every aspect, we shall become enlightened as noble persons. Then we can enjoy the eternal peace and happiness of Nibbana forever, and that will be the best attainment in life. So we should make the effort to understand these 4 Noble Truths. So there are 3 stages in developing the knowledge, not the knowledge. So the Buddha said first we should develop the learning knowledge. So by listening to the Dhamma tonight, so you will come understand what are the 4 Noble Truths. You understand. And I'll try to explain to you, so to know the essence of these 4 Noble Truths. And the second stage is to develop rational knowledge by reflecting on those acquired knowledge in many ways, so that you will have any doubt, no doubt about the truth of these 4 Noble Truths. But not enough yet, the Buddha said. So the third stage, we must see and know these 4 Noble Truths by our own wisdom, by our own experience. So we call it direct knowledge. Direct knowledge. So only if you see by direct knowledge, you will believe what you see. When we say seeing is believing, so you can be, you should be careful, because seeing can be deceiving. Just when we look with our naked eyes, so we think sense objects. They are very beautiful, they are permanent, pleasant, and attractive. So that's what we think, and then we believe that is true. But the Buddha said that is deceiving. It is deceiving. So only when we know by direct knowledge, then we shall have no doubt about the 4 Noble Truths, and then we shall be really enlightened as noble persons. The beauty of Buddhism is that our Buddha is truly omniscient. That means he possesses Sappanyutta Jnana, omniscient wisdom, that knows everything that should be known. So by this discourse, we can understand that the Buddha has the greatest wisdom in the world. And though the Buddha passed away, his teaching, we call the Dhamma, still exists in the world. So the Buddha said, so long my teaching exists in the world. So it is the same as the Buddha himself is in the world. So now we have the chance to practice. So what is described in this 4 Noble Truth, and we can believe, we can be enlightened in this existence. Now, we give you some handout because the Four Noble Truths, they are very profound and very deep. So you need to see it so that you can understand it better. So you please look at that. So we give you the first Noble Truth on the first page there. So the Buddha said, "This, O monks, is the noble truth of suffering. But is suffering, aging, sickness, death are suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair are suffering, association with unbeloved ones and unpleasant things is suffering, not to get what one desires is suffering, and inbreed, the five aggregates of clinging are suffering." So in this statement, so you can understand the first 11 types of suffering because they are quite obvious. But you may be difficult to understand the last statement there. In brief, the five aggregates of clinging are suffering. Actually, we have to see to that level, that our body and mind are made up of five aggregates of clinging, and they are really suffering. We have to know them. Well, we will explain to you step by step. So when the Buddha, he gave the first noble truth like this, actually, he knew all about existence in the whole world. And there actually in Buddhism, the Buddha described 31 planes of existence. So not only this world, where our human beings and the animals and the earthbound deities and the ghosts live, but there are 31 planes of existences. So including 6 celestial realms and 20 Brahma realms. So in all these realms, so all living beings, they are made up of the 5 aggregates. So like in Arupa realm, they are made of 4 aggregates. And in one realm we call Asanya Satta realm, they have only bodies. So they have only material aggregate. So whatever you have, 5, 4 or 1 aggregate, so this aggregate is made up of the ultimate mentality, materiality, and they are arising, dissolving very rapidly. So what is not permanent means suffering, the Buddha said, and to be tortured incessantly by the dissolution of these mentality, materiality that we love so much, we attach so much. So when they are dissolving, so it means real suffering. And we have to see these in vipassana, inside meditation. Now, according to this statement, there can be some argument. So when the Buddha said to dissociate from unbeloved ones and undesired things is suffering, we agree with it. Now how about to associate with the unpleasant things and unbeloved ones is suffering, the Buddha said. And how about to part away, to part from these unbeloved ones and unpleasant things? Won't that be blissful or happiness? And to associate with your beloved ones and pleasant things, isn't that the happiness or bliss? You might argue. So, to get rid of these all arguments, the Buddha described 3 types of suffering in Pa-Auk Sutta. So I describe it in the next paragraph there. So we give you the title, 3 kinds of suffering, as described in Pa-Auk Sutta. Now the first type is called dukkha. Dukkha, the obvious type of suffering, consisting of bodily pain and mental pain, such as birth, aging, sickness, pain, grief, despair, and association with unbeloved ones, etc. So these are the obvious type of suffering, so we should not argue about this. Now the second type, the Buddha said, is called viparinama dukkha. The type of suffering associated with changes in condition due to unforeseen circumstances and family happiness, human happiness, celestial happiness, and association with beloved ones, and pleasant things, and enjoying sense pleasure. So these belong to this type of suffering. So though we think they are very pleasant and very enjoyable, and actually they really mean not suffering. Because the good conditions, they never last long. They never last long. So we say usefulness, youthfulness. So very soon will end in aging. And all meetings will soon end in parting. And all livings will end in dying. And then all praises and admiration will soon end in silence. So in this world, the wise said, the prosperity will shine so long as it is not overpowered by its the adversity. So adversity means the opposite of that prosperity. And then the success will shine so long as it is not overcome by failure. So there's no one who succeeds all the time. No one. So finally the failure will come sooner or later. So when we say like human happiness, so human happiness and like the family happiness and the social gathering, so we think it quite pleasant and enjoyable. But in a family, if only all family members are well and healthy, and everyone is doing well, then we say there is happiness in this family. But as soon as one of the members of the family becomes very ill, seriously ill, or they do very bad in business, and then they have like a bad accident, then that family happiness is gone. It does not last long. So at one time, I was in church in our international Pa-Auk Forest Buddha Sasana Meditation Center in Yangon. And it was in the Tanlin Township. So it is about 40 minutes drive from downtown Yangon. So while I was on duty, the American counselor and his wife came to our meditation center, and they used to come before. So the counselor greeted me, and then he went to the meditation, the hall to meditate. But his wife didn't follow him. So his wife just sat on a chair in our office, so smoking a cigarette. So I tried to talk to her. Madam, why you are in the meditation center? Why don't you join your husband in meditation? So she said, only unhappy people with troubles need meditation. So only unhappy people with troubles need meditation. I don't need meditation, she said. I'm very happy to be in Yangon here because we get everything what we need. And my only son, he is studying in the university in New York, and he is also doing very well. So he said, no, I don't need meditation. So just at that time the telephone rang, so I went to answer the phone, and then I came back to her with very sad face. And no, I told her, Madam, I'm very, very sorry to tell you the bad news. Your American embassy just informed us that your son in New York had a very bad car accident, and he was seriously hurt, and he was taken to the hospital. So they will say, they will inform us very soon as they get more information. So as soon as I said that, she broke down. So she became very, very frustrated. She said, oh, what did you say? What did you say? What happened to my son? Is he seriously hurt? Oh, I have to tell his father now. So at that time, I tried to change my face to be quite pleasant. And I told her, Madam, I apologize to you for my statement. So your son is well and happy in New York. Don't worry about him. I just said what can happen at any time in the family. So if you have meditated, then when a bad accident occurs like this, you can remain very calm. And you can decide what is the best thing to do at that time. So we persuade you to undertake meditation. She said, well, I would meditate next time. So like the family happiness, they do not last long. And again, the one thing is the celestial or the sensual happiness. So for most of us, we think the sensual happiness is real happiness. That is our worldlings, the worldlings. We think like that. And we think so according to Buddha. The Buddha said, because our mind is blinded by the immoral mental factors, so he called ignorance, ignorance. So ignorance is in Pali we call moha or avijja. So because we are blinded, so these sense objects like human beings and like the material objects, we think they really exist, and they are very pleasant, and like the movie actors and actresses to be very beautiful. So just by watching them, like watching the Chinese movie and Korean movies, so we think it's very enjoyable. So we enjoy with greed, another mental, the immoral the mental factor, and that greed, so it delights in the pleasant feeling that we get during the watching the movie, etc. And then we enjoy it with piti, joy. Now the Buddha said, so you are enjoying with immoral minds, with this greed and ignorance. And this greed and ignorance are the hottest fires in the world, in the hottest fire in the world. So we can give an example. Like in Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet, they are young people. So they met, they fell in love, and they were very happy to be together. So they said, oh, love is a many splendid thing, they say. But their parents do not agree to their love affair, so they were separated by their parents. So when you are attached to a sense object, and you are separated from it and you don't get it, then you get frustrated. And at that time, anger, the displeasure means anger, hatred, evil arises in your mind, together with ignorance again. So they start burning you, and this fire of the anger and the ignorance are also very, very hot. And the Buddha even said, So natti raga samo agni. There is no fire as hot as the fire of lust or greed. So these two young people, when they get very frustrated and great pain and grief and despair, finally they committed suicide. So many lovers in the world, including like Marilyn Monroe, very beautiful actress, committed suicide because of their love affairs is not going well. So that means these enjoying the sense pleasure. So the Buddha is low because you enjoy with immoral minds. It is low and based, and it is vulgar, and it is unprofitable, enjoyed only by worldlings, not enjoyed by the noble persons, the Buddha said. And it will never lead you to enlightenment. And during your enjoyment of sense pleasure, you forgot meritorious deeds, and you acquire, since you enjoy with immoral minds, you accumulate immoral karmas. So these karmas are the properties of the mind. So when you perform, you are enjoying sense pleasure with immoral minds arise by many billions per snap of the hand. When they dissolve, they leave behind immoral karmas. We call the potential energy of those minds in your mental stream. So these immoral karmas will send you to the woeful abode when you die. So you don't get real happiness during the lifetime, and when you die, you have to suffer in the woeful state for many, many existences. So the Buddha said it's very difficult. Once you are born in the woeful state, like an animal or a woeful ghost, or as a hell denizen, it's very difficult to regain the human existence again, because there's no chance of performing meritorious deeds in the woeful state. So, again, when we say ignorance, the blinds us so that we don't know the true nature of existence. I can give you one example. For example, we think like Miss Universe to be very, very beautiful. So she is regarded as the most beautiful lady in the world at present. Now the Buddha said, you don't judge a person by outside appearance. To know the reality, you should analyze. You should analyze the thing, say. So Miss Universe can be analyzed into head hair, body hair, the nails, the teeth, the skin, the flesh, and then the bones, and the sinews, the hearts, the lungs, and then the livers, and then you have the intestines, and then like past, like you have the pus, and then the urine, and the feces, etc. So the Buddha, he showed how to divide in 32 parts. Then the Buddha said, you examine each part. Which part is beautiful? No, if you examine them, no part is beautiful. Every part is totally disgusting. So the Buddha, he also taught the meditation subject. So we call mindfulness of the body. In mindfulness of the body, you have to analyze your body in these 32 parts. Then you can see each part clearly if you can develop the right concentration. If you have the right concentration, you can purify your mind from all those defilements. So your mind is pure at that time, and it radiates very bright penetrative light. And you can see penetratively into your body to see all these 32 parts of the body. And every part is totally disgusting. Just like though you love your wife very much. So when you are eating your food, so one of her hair is in the food. So what did you do? No, you don't eat the hair. You try to get rid of, oh, so disgusting, you say. No, so when every part you examined clearly, every part is totally disgusting. So the Buddha said, not only the living body, not only the dead body, the rotten corpse are disgusting. The living body is also disgusting. All disgusting. So, like the Western wise people say, beauty is skin deep. They say that's very correct. No, so by looking from outside, at the skin, you think the lady is very beautiful. So now the Buddha said, you can use your wisdom, to peel out, like the skin of Miss Universe. So you can peel out. The skin is very thin. If you peel up the whole skin from the body, it will amount only to a handful, smeared with blood, and smelling very fishy and very disgusting. Now you try to give to the gentlemen who admire the beauty of Miss Universe. Now we are offering you the beauty of Miss Universe free of charge. Who are you who will take it? So nobody will take. No, so if you peel up the skin of Miss Universe, so the de-skinned body is again very, very disgusting. It just looks like a de-skinned, the body of a lamb in the butcher's shop. So no gentleman would like to embrace Miss Universe with the de-skinned body. So really, the living beings, they are not beautiful, not beautiful. And so in reality, the Buddha said, so living beings are not permanent. Since we are made up of mentality and material, they are rising and dissolving very rapidly, they are not permanent. And what is not permanent is suffering, the Buddha said, not pleasant. And then there is no person, no I, no you, no Miss Universe, actually, no actor, no actresses, actually, and you cannot deny it, because when you can develop the concentration, the Buddha said, you can see, through your body to see all these ultimate mental material that make up your body and mind, and when you see they are arising and dissolving very rapidly and incessantly, everything that arises dissolves. Nothing remains undissolved. So no substantial thing to be called like the soul, the self, the ego, the atta, jiva, etc. Nothing to show. Since everything dissolves and new mentality material arises because of conditions, there are conditions that gives rise to them. So nobody actually. So when we see up to that state, and then no one is beautiful, everyone is loathsome and disgusting. So if we can see in that way, then we shall not enjoy sense pleasure anymore. So enjoying sense pleasure is the greatest illusion. The greatest illusion, because we are blinded. We are blinded with this ignorance, the Buddha said. And it is similar to, so I like to give you an example of that to show that it is an illusion, like in Yangon, in Myanmar. So before we gained independence from the British in 1948, so at that time in the city of Yangon, they don't have like the taxi cabs, the taxi cars, they don't have. So they used the horse-drawn, the carts. They use the horse-drawn carts, and also they try to use the big horses. They imported from Punjab, India. They are big horses, so they made their carriage to be very beautiful, decorated, and then with this big horse, so people delighted to ride. Now these pony carts, we call them pony carts. Now these big horses. So when it comes to summer, like in Myanmar, we have 3 seasons. Now we are having the rainy season, very heavy rain. Sometimes 7 days continuously raining. So we enjoy the rain very much. And after the rain, we get the cool season for 3 months. The rainy season will last 5 months. And then rainy. So we plow the field and we plant the paddy during this season. And then become the cool season. No rain. And the weather is quite cool, quite pleasant at that time. So it will be the best time to come to Myanmar, to visit Myanmar. That cool season is the best time. So it is the best time for the people because they reap their crop at that time. So they get the money and they were rich during that time. They are quite good. Then we have 3 months, the hot season. Very hot during the hot season. No rain. So just like here, you are having occasional rain. So it is quite soothing. Sometimes very hot, you get the rain. Oh, you feel quite pleasant. But there, just hot for 3 months. So during that hot season, no green grass. So they have to stock up some dry grass. So this, the Pudikat owner, they try to feed the horses with these dry grasses. And these, the big horses, so they don't like to eat the dry grass. They don't eat. So the owner has to find ways how to make them eat, so that to keep them alive. Otherwise, they will lose a lot of money. So what they did is, they spray some water on the dry grass, the yellow grass, dry yellow grass, and then they put green plastic spectacles on the horse eyes. So when you look through the horse, the green grass, everything looks green. So the yellow grass looks green. It looks like green grass. So thinking it's green grass, they try to bite and chew, and it gets the taste of the grass. So it eat. So we are also looking the world with the green grass of ignorance. So we think all sense objects are very pleasant and desirable. And when we think sense objects are pleasant and desirable, when we come in contact with these sense objects, we get pleasant feeling. And that pleasant feeling is created by this greed, and we enjoy it with greed. So if we can see the real thing, then we don't get pleasant feeling, and there will be no attachment, no craving for sense, no sense pleasure. Then you will be much more happy. You will be very, very happy actually. So now we can see now. We say like the insects. Like we call the moths, they plunge into the fire. When you have like the lamp, they will plunge into the lamp because they think, the light, the fire, the light is very pleasant and attractive. And then it gets burned and died. So the same thing, we are enjoying sense pleasure and we get burned and die. We don't know that. So sense pleasure is actually not a true form of the happiness. It is, we call them viprinama dukkha. It is suffering associated with changes in condition. Now we have number 3 is on the second page. We call sankhara dukkha, the type of suffering associated with constant effort to relieve discomfort, pain, hunger, thirst, sense desires, etc., and to protect us from heat, cold, insect bites, and diseases. Now, sankhara dukkha also includes the eternally present suffering of conditioned things due to their intrinsic nature. Our body and mind are made up of ultimate materialities and ultimate mentalities, which arise and perish very rapidly and incessantly. So they possess the characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and not self. Now the Buddha said, Sabbe sankhara anicca. all conditioned things are impermanent. So when we say the conditioned things, they are mentality, materiality, that arise due to conditions. And then the Buddha also continued, yada nityam tampi dukkham. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. So remember to be tortured incessantly, continuously, by the dissolution of our cherished mentality, materiality, really amounts to suffering. And then, as all mentality, materiality can be grouped into 5 aggregates, so the Buddha states in the first Noble Truth, in brief, the 5 aggregates of clinging are suffering. So what the Buddha states in this first Noble Truth can be verified by your own experience and by your own direct knowledge. So to do that, you have to undertake the 3-fold Noble Training that we call the 8-fold Noble Path. The 8-fold Noble Path that is described as the 4th Noble Truth. So it is very important to see the true nature of existence. When the Buddha said, all the 5 aggregates of clinging are suffering, so all existences are made up of these 5 groups of 5 aggregates of clinging. So that means that all existences are suffering. Whatever is the existence, either the human existence or the celestial existence or the Brahma existences, all are suffering, because they are made up of ultimate mentality, materiality, and these are dissolving all the time. So only when we can see in this way, then we can cut off our attachment to existence, to our present existence and the future existence. Then when you can cut off the attachment, then the Buddha said, you will enjoy eternal peace and happiness of Nibbana. Now we go to the second Noble Truth. So, this, O monks, is the Noble Truth of the origin of suffering. It is craving tanha, which gives rise to fresh rebirth, together with pleasure and attachment. It finds great delight in this or that objects of the new existence. That craving is of 3 kinds. Craving for sensual pleasure or sense objects, we call kama tanha. And craving for existence or becoming, we call bhava tanha. And craving for non-existence and non-becoming, we call vibhava tanha. And this third belief is, it is the delusive, materialistic view of existence of like the scientists and the materialistic people. So according to the second Noble Truth, craving is the cause of all suffering. Now we can see that in our present life, craving is actually the cause of all the suffering that we encounter. And our mind is always as falling. Usually our minds are overwhelmed by immoral mental practice. So ignorance, greed, or anger or hatred. As the ignorance makes us to see sense, enjoy the sense objects are pleasant, and then like possessing money to enjoy the sense pleasure is very, very the blessing in life, and to have like great power, so and then great fame. So these we think to be very desirable. So craving make us So to try to possess these things, so to get the money, so that we can live quite luxuriously and can enjoy good food and good like the movies, etc. So we have to walk day and night throughout our life. So that means walking hard all the time is really suffering. It is suffering. Now, some people, though they exert great effort to acquire wealth and great position and the property, etc., when they don't get it, so they get frustrated, disappointed. Again, they suffer very greatly. Now, those people, even if they have acquired a large amount of wealth and property, then they have to worry again for the safety of their property, and they have to guard day and night about the safety of this property. So that also means suffering. So in spite of all your effort to guard your property, when your property is lost, then you get great pain and despair. And very recently, we had economic depression throughout the world. And when we read the newspapers and the journals, we are actually surprised. So they said many billionaires from the United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, and even Japan committed suicide. So these billionaires, usually they invest their money in stocks and shares. So during economic depression, the stocks and shares went down in price, very low. So that means they lost many billions of dollars. Now, you think these dollars are very important in your life, and you crave for them, and you are attached with this, the greed. So this attachment, so if you have the greater the attachment, so the greater the suffering you will have when you lose them. So when they lost them, so they become very, very sad. So they cannot bear the pain. Actually, though they lost many billions, they still possess quite many billions to live happily throughout their life. So we have a saying in Myanmar, however thin an elephant becomes, it is fatter than a water buffalo. Fatter than a water buffalo. So still, they are still rich, they can live happily, but they cannot bear this pain. So they committed suicide. Committed suicide. And in a very, very terrible manner. So, some, they just died in front of a running train. Let the train run over them. So terrible. And they didn't know. There is existence, rebirth, soon after death. Soon after death, according to our Buddhism, we have lived many existences already. And we are going to continue to live in life after life. So if you enjoy this existence and sensual pleasure, don't worry, you will live on indefinitely. Again and again you can enjoy them. You can enjoy them. Actually, you have already enjoyed many times, but you have forgotten them. So you think it is still very pleasant. Just like in our the Pa-Auk meditation center. So we call them international because all the people from the world are coming now. We are very delighted, and they can undertake meditation successfully because they are taught very systematically and attentively by the teachers. So when they can meditate, then you can see the reality actually. So in the meditation, we have to verify the causal relations of dependent origination. No, that doctrine of dependent origination describes life after life of every living being. No, so we are going to describe that, no, in the next topic actually. So no, on that, no, the next page we say craving as the origin of rebirth. So in the doctrine of dependent origination, in Pali we go Paticca Samuppada. The Buddha describes 11 cause-effect relation which beautifully explain the round of rebirth of all beings. So no, these are very simple actually, but we need the knowledge of Abhidhamma, no, to understand them, no, or to understand them clearly. So without the knowledge of Abhidhamma, you may find a little difficult, but you can understand anyway. So no, the first relation say, dependent on ignorance avijja, arises karma formations, sankhara. So this ignorance, no, they blinds us not to know the true nature of our existence. No, it blinds us not to know the karma and its result. And it blinds us not to know the Four Noble Truths. And also it blinds us, no, not to know our past existences, future existences, and the causal relations of dependent origination. So because of this, the people, no, the people and all living beings, not only human beings, no, all like the animals and the celestial beings, so they perform both moral actions and immoral actions. No, so we perform immoral actions, no, like when we may kill like the fish, the chicken, to eat good food. No, so we don't know about karma and result. So no, even in your trying to acquire wealth, so you may resort to some illegal means of acquiring wealth. No, because you don't know about karma and the result. No, then because of the ignorance, we think that celestial happiness, the Brahma happiness are very, very satisfactory, very, very good. We also perform meritorious state, so that we can enjoy this celestial existence in the next life. No, so because of ignorance, the Buddha said, so all living beings, they are performing both moral actions and immoral actions. So when you perform these moral actions, so moral minds arise by billions during each action, and when they dissolve, they leave behind billions of moral karmas in our mental stream. And when we perform an immoral action, even like killing a chicken or a fish, even at that time, many billions of immoral minds arise and leaving behind immoral karmas in our mental stream. No, so that is called sankhara, the karma formation, this karma. And these karma are just like the plant seed. No, from a plant seed you get a new plant. So the same thing here. From immoral karma, so a woeful existence will arise. And from the immoral karma, the blissful existence, like a human existence or a celestial existence, will arise. So the Buddha said, when you accumulate this karma, so when you die, this karma will produce new rebirth. When you get the new rebirth, we always begin with, so the next one, dependent on karma formations, arises resultant consciousness. So when we die here and born in the next existence, so we also always begin with rebirth consciousness. Rebirth consciousness is actually a resultant consciousness. And then this karma will keep on producing its resultant consciousness one after another to keep you alive throughout that existence. And then the next relation, the Buddha said, now dependent on resultant consciousness arises mentality, materiality. So consciousness associated with mental factors. So as soon as consciousness arises, these mental factors will arise together, and this consciousness and mental factors, they represent the full mental aggregate. No, because among the mental factors, no, the feeling or sensation, so they can be grouped together as the feeling aggregate. And then, no, the perception, no, which takes note of the sense object, no, we call it. So it can be grouped together as a perception aggregate. And the remaining mental factors, no, with volition as the leader, so it can be classified as aggregate of formations. No? And then consciousness can be grouped together, so many consciousness, so they can be grouped together as a consciousness aggregate. So then you get full mental aggregate. And again, this karma, when they produce this mental aggregate, it also produces karma-born materiality. No? So from that karma-born materiality, then heat-born materiality will arise. So this materiality, they represent the materiality aggregate. So when you get these 5 aggregates, so they represent a new existence, a new existence. Now the next we say, no, dependent on resultant consciousness, then arises mentality materiality. So we say you have, no, the 5 aggregates now. Now, dependent on this mentality materiality, arises 6 internal bases. So that means when you get all, no, the 5 aggregates, then the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and then the mind, they are called 6 internal bases. And they represent the 6 sense doors. No, like the visible object will strike the eye door, and the sound will strike the ear door. No, so 6 types of sense object there, the Buddha said. So when we are enjoying the sense pleasure, actually we are enjoying 5 senses. No, like the visible object, like watching the movie, and then the sound, like, you know, you're enjoying the music, and then, no, we have the odor or the smell when you are enjoying good perfumes, and then the taste when you are enjoying good food, and then the touch, no, when you are enjoying, no, like the very comfortable, no, beds and cushions, etc. So enjoying sense pleasure is just enjoying the 5 senses, the Buddha said. Now, when you get these 6 internal bases, so these 6 types of sense objects, so the 6 types of sense object is called the mind object, no, including our thoughts, no, our past experience that you think about, so they appear in the mind door. So when these subjects, they come in contact with these 6 sense doors, so they produce the contact between the consciousness and the sense object, and that produce the feeling. So, no, we are very, very much fond of pleasant feeling. We call sukha vedana, no, pleasant feeling. And we enjoy that pleasant feeling with craving. Craving is actually another mental factor we call greed. With joy, with joy. And what we call sense pleasure is only this, no, this pleasant feeling, and enjoying it with joy and with greed, no, the attachment and craving. So this represents the sense pleasure. Now, not this feeling, and then not that joy, and then that greed-rooted consciousness, not that you are enjoying. They arise and dissolve immediately. So when they arise and dissolve, then we call it impermanent. No, it's impermanent. So you are attached to this pleasant feeling, that is, you are attached to this sense object, so you have to exert greater effort to enjoy it again and again. No, so trying to exert effort, you have to exert effort throughout your life, because this sense pleasure is just fleeting. No, they are fleeting, and they are transient, and they are elusive. No, they don't give you real happiness. No, you are just happy because your craving and desire is momentarily satisfied. But this greed, as soon as it is satisfied, it craves for new things. So craving is always craving for 1,000 things. You can never satisfy this craving. So unsatisfied desires means suffering. Means suffering again. So now the Buddha said this craving will give rise to clinging. Clinging means strong attachment. So when you get clinging, you perform new actions again, the Buddha said. Because of craving and clinging. Like if you crave for the roasted pork, then you have to kill the pork and then you have to roast it. So if you crave for light fried chicken, you have to kill the chicken and you have to you fry it again. So you perform immoral actions again. So again, if you crave for human, the richness, and then like celestial, the pleasure. So in order to get that, you have to do meritorious deeds. So the teachers teaches you. So you also perform meritorious deeds, like almsgiving, or observing moral precepts, or undertake meditation. So to enjoy good existence in the future. So that means you perform new action and new karmas arise again. So this karma will give rise to a new existence. So when you get a new existence, then you begin with birth, and then aging, and then death will come, and then sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair. The whole mass of suffering will arise, the Buddha said. So the Buddha described only 3 existences. The past, the present, and the future existence. But this relation can be extended forward and backward indefinitely. Indefinitely. So when you get a new existence, again you get the 6th sense object, the 6th sense door. The 6th sense object will come in contact. Then you produce feeling. Again you develop craving and clinging. You perform new actions again. It gives rise to a new existence. So in that way the Buddha, he described very beautifully the causal relations of dependent origination. And we have to see these causal relations in meditation. Not only just like learning here, it's just acquiring by knowledge, we say. The knowledge we acquire by learning. So it should be the knowledge. You see by direct knowledge, by direct the wisdom. So in meditation, we can see this. We can see our past existence. Soon after we die here, we are reborn again. We are reborn again. And we shall be reborn again and again. So if you see this causal relation very well in meditation, then you know that all the causes in these 11 causes, cause-effect relation, all the causes represent the cause of suffering. The second noble truth, they represent the cause of suffering. And all the effects, since they arise and dissolve, so they represent the first noble truth, that is suffering. So you know this, the nature of these 2, the noble truths, by this causal relation. So you have to see that inside meditation. Now we have a good story. I read in the Reader Digest once. So they say that a traveler, he was trying to cross a desert. So at the noontime, that is under the scorching sun. So as there was sandstorms previously, so all the tracks he lost. No tracks, he cannot see any track. So he has been walking so much and become very, very tired. He can hardly lift his legs to continue walking. So at that time, 2 angels, so they flew in the sky, so they passed over him. So when they saw him to be in great trouble, so one good nature angel, he wanted to help this man. And his friend tried to remind him, tried to caution him. He said, this short-eared human being, they will never be satisfied, however much you help him. So that good-natured person said, oh, don't mind. I will try to help him. Something he is so much terrible, he would die very soon. So he created, this good angel, created an oasis, an oasis with green grass, and a pond full of clear water, and also the date palms surrounding the pond. So when the weary traveler saw the pond and the oasis, oh, he was very, very delighted. So he tried to drink water and eat the dates to his heart content. Then he lied down on the green grass, so enjoying the situation, just like he were in heaven, his feet. And during that time, a thought came to him. He said, I have traveled on this desert many times. So he had been a regular traveler. And I have never seen an oasis before. So this oasis must be created by an angel, he said. That he thought about that. Now I must ask one more thing from this angel, he said. So he called out, my dear friend angel, I thank you very heartily for creating this oasis and all the fresh water and the dates. But now I felt I need one more thing. So please send me a beautiful celestial female being to be my companion. So at that time, the friend angel, so reminded his friend again, I told you this short-eared human being, they will not ever be satisfied, however much they get. So that good nature, the angel said, you are right. I cannot make him happy. So he revoked his power. So the oasis is gone. So that weary the traveler had to walk in the desert and the scorching sun again. So that is the nature of the short-eared human beings because of this ignorance and the greed. The greed, it has the characteristic of craving and attachment. However much you get, it will never be satisfied. The more you get, the more you desire to get. So the Buddha said, even the whole wealth on earth cannot satisfy one man's greed, the Buddha said. And the Indian leader, the independent leader we call Mahatma Gandhi, so he put the statement quite beautifully. So he said, this world, this earth that we live in, has enough for everyone's need. So if we share all the things on earth equally, then it will have enough for everyone's need, but not enough for one man's greed. That's very correct. One man's greed. So you can never satisfy it. As soon as you gratify one desire, 8,000 desires come on. So that means if you are trying to satisfy this greed, you will never be happy. So again, I learned a good story again from the venerable meditation teacher, well-known one. So we call Chammi Shadow. He also had some meditation center. Even I think in the Malaysia, he had many centers there. Now he told me one time, an American university student came to meditate at his center. So after you meditate and you devote very sincerely to your meditation, so you can develop the joy, and the joy we call piti, step by step. And the joy, piti, can be developed in 5 stages. So if you undertake meditation, sincerely you were able to enjoy the same thing. I also enjoy it when I meditated 30 years ago in the Mahasi Center. So at that time, after meditating, say 4 or 5 days, so I got the thrill very often. The joy, the thrill of joy. The thrill of joy, as if your body hair stand up. So the thrill of joy, at first I don't know. So when I learned Abhidhamma, I knew it is, they call it, it is the weak form of joy actually. Then later on you get longer thrill, as if the electricity is flowing to your head to your toe. You get strong joy, greater thrill. So we call it Kanika Piti. Kanika Piti is longer joy. And then after 1 or 2 days again, so that Piti, it grows bigger, stronger. So we say it is they call it the flood of joy, they call it. So then you experience your body being lifted up and falls down, just like you are riding a boat on the tides. So when the tides come in, your boat is lifted up. When the tide recedes, so it falls down. So you enjoy that. So meditation is a pleasant way of living, and actually it is an art of living, very joyfully and very, very beneficially. Then after 1 or 2 days again, so as soon as I start meditation, it seemed all the flesh, they disintegrate. So the body disappeared. And I felt that I was lifted up high in the sky and floating in heaven among the clouds. Very pleasant. So it is like the experience you get when you first ride the aeroplane. When the aeroplane takes up, you get a good thrill. So every time you start meditation, you get the same thrill. Very nice. So that American student, so he got these 4 stages of joy, we call. So he get the uplifting joy, we call it. So he felt his body is lifted up and floating in the air. So he reported to the teacher, I felt very good floating in the air. So the teacher told him, it is just the beginning. You will get greater happiness later on. You don't get attached to this. You better pay attention to your meditation subject. But this student, the next day, when he reported to the teacher, he said, the teacher, I'm still floating in the air. I'm still floating in the air, he said. So the teacher said, you don't get attached to it. Try to meditate, you will enjoy better later on. So the student said, teacher, I'm already satisfied. I'm already satisfied, he said. So he said, so the teacher asked him, why you are satisfied with this? Well, when we were in the American university, we are very free to enjoy all sorts of sense pleasure. And finally, everything becomes fed up, become bored, become fed up. So we try to find new ways of excitement and thrill and joy. So we started trying to take the drugs, like heroin. So he said, I tried lysergic acid twice, he said. So teacher, he said, when I took the lysergic acid, I also felt that my body is lifted up and I forgot all my worries, my troubles. So I feel very happy that time. But I could take only 2 times because the drugs are very expensive, he said. And another thing, if we keep on taking the drug, we know we will get addicted and no way of return. So you will go to the cemetery and then from then to hell. So he said, we dare not take it. Now this experience is better than the experience of that drug, he said. It costs no money and no not bad side effects, no bad side effects. I'm very, very satisfied. I will go back to United States and teach my friend to meditate, to enjoy this. So, no, that is the sense pleasure, no, enjoyment will not give you the lasting happiness. So, like some wise people, they try to make the saying. So they say, drink for a day's joy. So, for one day's joy, you can drink with friends. So you can be very happy for one day, but the next day you will get hanging headache. You will not be happy. You will not be happy. And they say again, marry for a month's happiness. So you were happy only for 1 month, is that now when you marry? No? Then you will have a lot of trouble to find a job, to get the place to live on, and other things, and then you can become fed up. Your thrill, your dream, so become fed up. So you get joy only for one month. So they said, you should plant a tree for a lifetime happiness. So when you plant a tree or a garden, so by watching those trees and the flowers grow, you can get joy, not the whole life, he said. And according to Buddhism, we say, try to meditate, to cut off your attachment to sense pleasure and your new existence, then you can enjoy the eternal peace and happiness of Nibbana forever. So which is better? So it's much better to listen to the Buddha. So not to be attached to this sense pleasure. Okay, now we go to the third form of and also on the next page we describe the table 1, describing the causal relations of dependent origination. So this table actually it describes the causal relations very beautifully. So in the first column, we describe the past existence, the present existence, and the future existence. And then in the middle column, we describe the 12 factors of the dependent origination. So we begin with avijja, ignorance. If you have ignorance, you will perform good and bad actions, so you will accumulate the karma formations, the karma in your mental stream. So with this karma that you accumulate in the past existence, give their result, bear their result, you will be reborn in the new existence. So at that time, vijnana, consciousness, nama rupa, mentality, materiality, and then you get the 5 aggregates, and also you also attain the six internal bases, we call sanlayarana. Then the 5, 6 and sense object will come in contact, so you develop phassa and feeling. So these 5 are regarded as the effects of the past causes. Then when you get the pleasant feeling, it will give rise to craving, tanha, which again will give rise to clinging, the strong attachment, upadana, and then you perform new actions again. So you acquired new karmas again. So that the new karmas will bear result to produce the future existence. Then you continue with your rebirth process. So with rebirth, aging and death, and then lamentation, pain, grief, despair, etc. So these are the 11 causal relations and the 12 factors of the dependent origination. So when we say what are the causes that give rise to the present existence, so if you look at the past existence, you found only ignorance and karma formations. But if you look at the factors in the present existence, you can see that number 8 and 9, tanha, craving, and number 9, upadana, clinging, they belong to defilements. And the number 1, ignorance, is also defilement. They always arise together in a single consciousness. So when we develop, when we like enjoying sense pleasure, we develop greed-rooted consciousness. Then in that greed-rooted consciousness, you get that craving, ignorance, and then the clinging together. So they arise together. And then again when you look at the number 2, karma formations. So it is similar to number 10, karma bhava, which is also karma process or karma formations. So the Buddha said, so on the third column we say the karma process that give rise, the 5 past causes that give rise to the present existence are number 1, 2, that is ignorance and karma formations, and 8, 9, 10, craving, clinging, and karma. Now again, if you look at the present existence, the next in the third column, so the next row, it describes the rebirth process, that describes the 5 present effects. So when you get the new existence, we say you get consciousness, mentality, materiality, 6 internal bases, and then 6 sense objects come in contact and you get the feeling. So they represent the 5 present effects due to the 5 past causes. Now again, if you look at the third row, we begin the karma process again. So there we have 8, 9, 10, craving, clinging, and karma process. So again, if you have craving and clinging, which are defilement, you should include number 1, ignorance, because this ignorance, craving, and clinging, they always function together. They are always the driving force to perform new actions, either moral actions or immoral action. So you get new karma process again. So the 5 causes here, the same as the past 5 causes, representing number 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. So because of this, the karma process, that is developing new karma, then you get rebirth process again in the future. So in that way, the life process will continue. So from these, the 12 factors. So the factors 1 to 7, represent the past causes and the present effects. And in this portion of the dependent origination, ignorance is the root. And then if you look from 8, 9, 10 and 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10 represent the present causes, and 10, 11, 12 represent the future existence. Again, in these causal relations, the number 8, craving, is the root. So we describe on the next page, the 2 roots of dependent origination are ignorance and craving. So if you want to destroy a big tree, you have to destroy the main roots. So again, if you want to get out of this causal relation, that is the round of rebirth and the round of suffering, so you have to get rid of ignorance and craving. And you can do that by undertaking the 3-fold noble training that represent the 8-fold noble path. Then we go to the next page. So now we come to the third noble truth. So here we say, the Buddha say, this, O monks, is the noble truth of the extinction of suffering. It is the complete fading away and extinction of this craving, forsaking and abandoning craving, liberation and detachment from craving. So by this third noble truth, the Buddha points out there is the extinction of suffering in this life. So if you can attain the extinction of suffering, that means you attain the emancipation from the round of rebirth as well as from the round of suffering. So from this statement also we can see what is Nibbana. What is Nibbana? So, in the second noble truth, the Buddha said, this craving is the main cause of suffering, not the main cause of suffering. So, if you can eliminate this craving totally, so if the cause is eliminated totally, the effect, that is suffering, will not arise anymore. So, the suffering will also be eliminated. Now, the Buddha, according to the Fourth Noble Truth, so he points out the Noble Threefold training by which you can eliminate this craving totally. You can craving totally. Then, when you will become an arhat actually. So, when this craving is totally eliminated, as we say, there will be no suffering in the mental stream, in the mind anymore. What will exist in the mind at that time? So, in the second last paragraph, we describe when craving is totally eliminated, all defilements that work together with this craving, including those ignorance and the anger, hatred. So these defilements, they inflict torture, burn and debase the mind. So they are totally eliminated. Therefore, the mind becomes free from all taints, all defilements, all inflictions, all suffering, and it will be serene, peaceful and blissful. This serenity in Pali we call siti, and peace santi, and bliss sukha describe the nature of Nibbana. So Nibbana has the characteristic of eternal peace and bliss called santi sukha. So if you say what is Nibbana, so how would you answer? What would you answer? So Nibbana is the state when you can eliminate all craving. Then your mind is totally free from all defilements. All defilements. So these defilements are the cause of all unjust actions and suffering in the whole world. So long these defilements are arising in your mind and they are torturing, inflicting your mind, you will never be really happy. Now when you can totally eliminate them, then there will be no more pain, no more suffering in your mind. So at that time, there will be only serenity, peace and bliss will exist in your mind. So all the time, only peace and bliss, the eternal peace and bliss will remain in your mind. So that is Nibbana, the Buddha said. And the Buddha also described in the next paragraph. So to the question, what is Nibbana? So the Buddha described again, O monks, the whole world is in flames. The eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind, that represent the six sense doors, they are in flame. And then also the six sense objects, which come in contact with the six sense doors, are in flame. And then, when the sense objects come in contact with the six sense door, then we say six types of consciousness arises. They are the eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, the nose consciousness, the tongue consciousness, the body consciousness, and the mind consciousness, and their associated mental factors, including contacts and feelings, are in flames. So this consciousness mental factor represent your minds. So that means our minds are in flame. So we have six sense door and six sense objects coming in contact, and these giving rise to six types of these consciousness. So all of them are inflamed, the Buddha said. Now the next paragraph. By what fires are they kindled? By the fire of lust, anger, delusion, but aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair are the kindle. So we call this 11 fires. There are 11 types of fires. So they are burning us all the time. So the Buddha said, in every person, and in all the persons in the whole world, and in all the 31 planes of existence. So, that means the whole world, the whole universe are in flames, they are burning. So we are ignorant about this because we are blinded by ignorance. So in meditation, when you can develop concentration, we call the right concentration, then your mind becomes free from this, the ignorance and other defilement. Then you can see, as described by the Buddha, like this. Then when you can see all the existences in light, in all these planes, so they are burning, then you can see, there is no shelter, no safety place to live on. So everything is burning. So only then you will see that the only place that is free from this burning is Nibbana. So attainment of Nibbana is the best thing in life because we can enjoy real happiness. Now in the next paragraph, we give you, since the extinction of these flames means the extinction of suffering, and the cessation of suffering is called Nibbana, one may infer that the extinction of these flames is Nibbana. And in fact, in Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha states, the extinction of greed, the extinction of anger, and the extinction of the delusion or ignorance is called Nibbana. So here, we remind you, the end goal that one aims for should be differentiated from the means that is employed. And here the extinction of the flame is the means, and Nibbana is the end goal. One must not thereby refer that Nibbana is nothing but the extinction of the flame of greed, anger, and delusion. So what we mean here is, these greed, anger, delusion, they are the main causes of all suffering. So if they are totally extinguished, they are eliminated, so there will be no cause of suffering, then you can enjoy Nibbana right away. In this very life, you can enjoy Nibbana. And you will see it is real happiness, unique happiness. And it is eternal peace and happiness. You can enjoy Nibbana throughout your life. And in your future life, you can continue enjoying this Nibbana. So, when we say that, some people will say, your Nibbana is just the extinction of greed, anger, and delusion. So that means Nibbana is nothing. So that is not true. That is not true. So we give you the illustration in the last paragraph on that page. So we described about the full moon on the full moon night. So on the full moon night, the full moon will definitely be in the sky. But when you get thick clouds thick rain clouds that shelter completely the moon, then you cannot get any moonlight. You cannot see the moon. So the people would say, there's no moon tonight, no moonlight tonight, they say. But now if strong winds arise and they blow all the dark clouds away, then when the sky is clear, then you can see the full moon very vividly. So the same day, Nibbana always exists. The Buddha said, Nibbana always exists. We cannot see Nibbana and enjoy the bliss of Nibbana because our mind are blinded by ignorance and other defilements. So if you can get rid of this, the defilement, all defilements, then your mind becomes clear now. You can see Nibbana very vividly and you can enjoy it throughout your life. And we can see Nibbana by part consciousness we gain. Part consciousness. The consciousness means our mind. Our mind that associated with the part wisdom. With the part wisdom associated, we can see Nibbana very clearly. Very clearly. And we can enjoy the unique piece of Nibbana right away. And we call it unique happiness. It is much different from the sensual pleasure that we have enjoyed. So this sense pleasure is just illusion. Just illusion. So we just enjoy it just momentarily. And with greed and ignorance, with the hottest fires we are enjoying. And as soon as we lost them, like Romeo and Juliet, they committed suicide. Committed suicide. So, not like that. When you don't have any defilements in your mind, then you can feel, it is total peace and bliss, real peace and bliss. So that is very different from sensual pleasure. So that is accommodated by pleasant feeling and by these hot fires of greed and ignorance. And we say the aim of all living beings is to enjoy real happiness in this life. So in the case of Buddhism, it is quite unique. Our end goal is called Nibbana. And we can attain this Nibbana. So in this very life, if we practice as told by the Buddha, as told by the Buddha. So, like in other religions, you cannot enjoy their eternal goal, like they call heaven. You cannot enjoy it now. You have to wait till Judgment Day. Judgment Day is the end of the world, they call it. So that means you have to wait a long, long time. So, but not here. You can enjoy right away. Right away in this life. Now, when you attain the part wisdom, and you can see Nibbana and enjoy Nibbana, then we call you a noble person. So even the first stage of noble person, we call stream winner. So even as a stream winner, you can enjoy the bliss of Nibbana as much as you like. And you can still also enjoy the sense pleasure, your Hollywood movie and Korean movie, if you like it, the Chinese noodles, all these things you can also enjoy. And you can live with your family very happily, and you feel very, very safe and happy because you are fully guaranteed you will never be reborn in the woeful state again. So if you still wish to enjoy the sense pleasure and your family happiness, etc., so the Buddha said, the stream winner can be reborn in the sense sphere, that is the human realm and the sixth celestial realm, for 7 more existences. Like when you were in the celestial realm, like say the 4th celestial realm, we call two-seater, where the bodhisattva used to enjoy the celestial happiness. You can live for 576 million years enjoying those sense pleasure, the celestial pleasure. So that means by this 7 existence, you can enjoy all these happiness and the good things in these existence, and also Nibbana. You can always enjoy Nibbana in all this existence. And if you still wish, you don't want to go to Nibbana yet, you can be reborn in the Brahma realms, 20 Brahma realms. So when you are in the Brahma realm, you can live for 500 war cycles. No, 1,000 war cycle, no, 10,000 war cycle. Oh, wouldn't that be enough? Wouldn't that be enough? Then only you can go to Nibbana. So it's up to you. So many people, after attaining the first enlightenment, they try to undertake the Threefold Noble Training again to get the higher wisdom, the higher stage of noble person, and even to become arahats during the Buddha's time. All the monks, when they become noble person, they will try to attain arahatship so that they don't want to be reborn anymore. So in meditation, you see clearly the true nature of existence. They are totally suffering. When you see that no attachment to it anymore, no craving, you don't want it anymore, so they will go to Nibbana. Be happy and well forever. Now the Buddha, he also described the way how to attain this Nibbana. So on the next page, we give you the fourth noble truth. This, O monks, is the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. It is simply the noble eightfold path, consisting of the right understanding, the right thought, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, the right effort, and the right mindfulness, and the right concentration. So we can actually classify these 8 factors of the noble path into threefold training as described below. So the training of wisdom, the training of wisdom consists of the right understanding and the right thought. And then the training of morality consists of the right speech, the right action, and the right livelihood. And then the training of concentration, it comprises the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right concentration. And by this threefold noble training, we can eliminate all defilements very systematically and very logically. And we describe that our real enemy is the craving. So the Buddha in the second noble truth, he singled out craving as the main cause of suffering. But craving works together with other defilements, and there are 10 defilements described on the next page. So we have to be familiar with these 10 defilements. They are our greatest enemies. Greatest enemies. They make us to suffer forever, and they send us to the woeful abodes again and again. Now what are they? Lobha is also known as tanha and raga, so they mean greed, craving, and attachment. Dosa patigha is anger, hatred, or ill will. Moha avijja is ignorance or delusion. Mana is pride or conceit. Deity is the wrong view. And Vijikiccha, the skeptical doubt about the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and the training. And Tina is sloth that make our mind inactive and lazy. And Uddhacca, restless, it also makes the mind to be restless. Ahidika, moral shamelessness. So it makes us not to be ashamed to perform immoral deeds. And Anuttapa, moral fearlessness, and it makes us not to be afraid to perform immoral actions. Now these 10 defilements, they always exist in our mind. They exist in 3 layers, we say. And the first layer is called latent defilements, because they lie latent in the mind, ready to arise in the mind when sense objects appear in sense door. So if you ask, who created these 10 defilements? So if Almighty God, He created everything, why should He create these 10 defilements? So if you know these 10 defilements, their true nature, they are arising in you. They are torturing you all the time. You cannot deny that they arise in our mind. You cannot deny. And they are really the main causes of all evil actions and all suffering in the world. So they always arise, they exist in our mind as latent defilements, life after life, from the very first life. So they are already in our mind. Now, this latent defilement that exists in all of us now at present, as we are listening to the Dhamma, so the defilements do not arise in your mind at present, but they lie latent in your mind. So if I go and knock your head, what happens? Then you get angry. Why do you knock me? So that means ignorance and anger arise immediately. So if you see very beautiful lady like Miss Universe, you crave for her, that means lobha arises. So if you see any means to get a lot of money, you want to do it, so that means greed arises in you. So they are ready to arise in your mind when the sense object come in contact with the sixth sense door. So when they arise in the mind and start agitating your mind, we call them moderate defilement. And they start blinding you. Just like we are blinded, so we cannot see Nibbana. We cannot see our past existence and future existence because of these defilements blinding us. Now, if we cannot control these arising defilements, then they become stronger, and they become grosser, and become more violent. So we call them, the third stage, gross violent defilement. So when it comes to that stage, you are ready to perform evil actions like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, etc. Now, the Buddha, when he described the threefold noble training, so these threefold noble training will systematically eradicate or destroy, totally eliminate these defilements. So we compare about the eliminating these defilements with destroying a big tree. So we can call them as a big tree of kilesa or defilement arising in our mind. Now, if we want to destroy a big tree, what should we do? So we should cut the branches first, and then cut the trunk. Then you dig out the roots and burn them. Then this tree will never arise again. So we have to do the same thing. So the Buddha said, we should observe 5 moral precepts. Very simple precept, as the training of morality. So just 5 moral precepts. So abstaining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and 4 types of speeches, consisting of lying, slandering, using harsh speech, and then gossiping. And remember, gossiping can sell you to hell. And be careful. We enjoy the gossiping. We enjoy it with greed, with craving actually. So we are just becoming forgetful of meritorious deeds, and then developing immoral karma. So they will send us to the woeful state when we die. So the Buddha said, 5 moral precepts should be observed all the time. Just as we keep our pen on our body all the time. So we should observe 5 moral precepts all the time. So when we understand the teaching of the Buddha, it's very beautiful. Very beautiful, very simple. Very simple training. Not like the people in the Singapore. You are very lucky. No mosquitoes. You don't have to kill any living being, like the fish, the chicken. They are ready in the market. You don't have to kill them. then you are having good job and good salary. So there's no killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, very safe. And you don't use the false speeches. And then the fifth one is abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. So you should abstain from that. Because these intoxicating drinks and drugs will make you intoxicated, and then you will commit all evil actions. So the Buddha said, if you can maintain this, you have the best morality, the best character in life. The best character in life. So like the Western London people, they say, so what is the most important in a person? Now they give the restatement. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost, they say. So you can, as you have, you are alive and you can walk, then you can get the wealth again. Don't worry, he said. Now they say, when health is lost, something is lost, they say. Health is quite important, to live happily, and then even to meditate, to get the liberation is important. So we should keep the good health. And then we don't lose all things yet when you lose the health. Like in Buddhism, even you lose your health, you can undertake meditation. And you can still live happily, and you can attain enlightenment also if you try. But the third, they say, when character is lost, everything is lost. That is very true. When you lose your character, then you are a danger to your family, to your community, and you are driven away from your society, so you cannot be happy. Though you are alive, there is no benefit to you. You are just accumulating the bad karma. Then when you die, you have to be born in a woeful state for many existences. So when we observe these 5 moral precepts, we practiced patience, tolerance, loving kindness. And the Buddha said these are the most beautiful, the quality that we can have. Just like the Christianity, they also say, forgiveness is divine. They said very, very noble. Forgiveness is divine. That means when you can develop tolerance and forgiveness, then you can forgive even the mosquito that bite you. You can forgive them. You can tolerate. Then you can let them go away. So out of the loving kindness. So the Buddha said, just by observing 5 moral precepts, you let all living beings to live happily, without any danger, with any worry. So if only all the person in the world can observe just this 5 moral precepts, then we can enjoy world peace right away. Very good. But in meditation, so in the 3-4 training, so the second training is actually the training of we begin with the training of morality. Then when you go to the training, the training of concentration, you have to undertake tranquility meditation. So in undertaking tranquility meditation, sense objects and sense pleasure is the enemy, the danger. So we say, when you undertake this 3-4 training, so you better go to a meditation center. Now we have here the meditation center. We invite you to come anytime. And we have very good, competent teacher, well-qualified teacher to guide you how to undertake this 3-4 training as taught by the Buddha. If you can do this training as taught by the Buddha, you will get the result as described and promised by the Buddha. You will get enlightenment. You will get enlightenment. So when we do this 3-4 training, we observe 8 precepts. So by observing 8 precepts, we also abstain from sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment, beautifying yourself, and then enjoying the shows and the music, all these. So if you enjoy them, you cannot develop concentration. So after taking the precept and you go on meditating, you are maintaining pure morality already. So in meditation, nowadays, so when we do that training of concentration, so usually now, almost all meditation center, they teach anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. But when we do this, there are many ways now. Many ways, because many teachers are teaching many ways. And we found only the method described by the Buddha is the correct one. And it will give you the best result in the shortest time. So some people say by doing meditation, you cannot develop jhana, they say. Jhana is mental absorption. When the mind remains absorbed or focused on your meditation subject for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours continuously. So when you get that power, your mind becomes very, very powerful. And you enjoy the best mundane happiness. That is the best worldly happiness by developing the jhana. Because at that time, this jhana, the consciousness, is accompanied very strong joy, very strong pleasant feeling. And then your mind is free from all defilements at the time. So you really enjoy the very, very strong bliss when you attain the jhana. So, and the Buddha said it is a special attainment. If you can attain the jhana, you get the special attainment, the Buddha said. Not just like the monks. If they say they attain the jhana without really attaining the jhana, then they will lose their monkhood. They will lose their monkhood. It is a special attainment. Without attaining it, you say you attain it, you lie. And it's a very serious lie, and you lose your monkhood. So the Buddha said, if you attain this jhana and you keep on the insight meditation, you are close to the jhana, to the nibbana. Very close to nibbana. Because when you attain this jhana, your mind is totally free from all defilement. So the first step, the Buddha said, you must attain the purity of morality. And the second step, you must develop the purity of the mind. So only when you attain the right concentration, and the Buddha said in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the right concentration is equivalent to the concentration of the 4 Rupa Vajra jhana. So the jhana is actually very, very good. So when you attain that, you get the purity of the mind. The mind is free from all arising defilement. So it becomes very powerful. It radiates very bright penetrative light. So when you get that, you know it. Because with closed eye, you can see everything in front of you. And if you can develop that jhana and make it very firm and stable, then you can see all over Singapore, just from here with closed eye. You can see far away. So we call it out-of-body experiment. And then you can see penetratively into your body to see all your internal organs. As you can see penetratively in your body, you can see other people's body in the same way. So you can discern those 32 parts of the body clearly. Every body you can see 32 parts. Then you can see all living beings are just assemblage of these 32 parts. No person, no human being anymore, just assemblage of these things. Then you can get rid of this personal belief, the wrong view, personal belief. It's the ticket to hell, the Buddha said. So, for you to undertake meditation is very urgent according to the Buddha. So if you die without undertaking meditation, then because of this personal belief, taking this body and mind as I, you can be reborn in the woeful state. No? So the Buddha said, even if your head is on fire, even your chest is in pain with a spear, so before quenching the fire or treating the wound in your chest, you should undertake meditation to get rid of this personal belief. So if you can get rid of this personal belief, you become the stream winner, a noble person. So after you attain the right concentration, then we continued with the training of wisdom. So in the training of wisdom, you had undertake vipassana. So some people, they ask, after you attain the right concentration, how do we continue with vipassana? And many teachers are nowadays, they teach the training of concentration just about 4 days. So they don't teach up to the right concentration. So they say, now you can do vipassana. So according to the teaching of the Buddha, you cannot do vipassana in that way. And according to our experience, you cannot do vipassana. So it's very, very important to get the right teacher. The right teacher to teach the right method as taught by the Buddha. As taught by the Buddha. So all the teachings of the Buddha are recorded. And they are compiled and classified in Visuddhimagga, we call the path of purification. Like Jnana Moli. He wrote it in English. So I also try to write to make it more simple for people to understand. So there the Buddha described all this, the training in detail. So when you go to the vipassana, you must undertake they say meditation on materiality and meditation on mentality. So by meditation on materiality means you have to discern all the ultimate materiality that make up your body. So usually we begin with the 4 element meditation. So even after with your anapanasati, you get the jhana. Now in this state you have to do the 4 element meditation. Because the 4 element meditation discern the 4 elements that make up the body. They are the major element. So they show you clearly. So just by the discerning these 4 elements in this whole body, when you can see them clearly, then the body breaks down into small particles. We call material groups, rupa kalapa. And they are of the size of electrons and protons known in science. The material groups are arising, dissolving very rapidly, but you cannot do vipassana yet. They are not ultimate materiality. So in every material group, there are 8 types or 9 types or 10 types of ultimate materiality, consisting of these 4 major elements and their form, visible form, and then smell, the taste, and then nutritive essence. Then in our clear material in the eye, so it is another material we call chakupasada. And these are karma-born materiality. They also contain materiality light we call jivita rupa. So there are like 10 materialities in that klapa, in the eye. So when you can discern all this material in your body, you can do that now, like in our Pa-Auk meditation center. So we are very, very grateful to Pa-Auk for his teacher, because to analyze all these material groups that are rising and dissolving so quickly, to know all these 28 types of material that make up the body, cannot be taught usually by other teachers. Cannot be taught, as far as I know. Now he is very genius actually. It is described in the Visuddhimagga, but not the detailed method how to analyze them. Now Pa-Auk can teach it. And all the meditation teachers, they can teach you. So when you know the ultimate materiality, they have no form, no shape. And they are rising, dissolving variably with the characteristic of impermanence and suffering and not self, anatta. Then you can see the five sense door, ascended your mind door. And the sense object not striking this door, producing consciousness and mental factors. They will produce series of consciousness in order to cognize or to know each sense object. So you have to do this meditation on mentality. So then, when you can see all the consciousness in these various the cognitive series, you have to analyze each consciousness to know their ultimate components. Like the I consciousness is accompanied by 7 mental factors. And like in the moral mind that develops when you are doing vipassana, then it can associate up to 34 mental factors. And you have to know every one of them in this consciousness. So it was very difficult actually. But it can be done quite easily if you can get the right concentration and the right guidance. You can do it. So when you analyze all these body and mind into ultimate mentality, materiality, so they are rising and dissolving very rapidly. So you know all the 5 aggregates in your body at the same time. Now as they are rising and dissolving easily, you know they are impermanent, suffering and not self. So you can get rid of personality believed temporarily up the state. So you say you attain the purity of view. The purity of the view is the beauty of the wrong view, thinking this body and mind as I. Now you come to the 3rd stage of purification. So in the 4th stage, you have to discern the causes that give rise to this mentality, materiality. If you don't know the causes, you will have many wrong beliefs. You may think, this mental material, they are arising without any causes. So uncaused belief, we say, wrong view. Or you may say, an almighty God is creating all these things. So that is, we call Visama Hetuka Ditti. Thinking as a wrong cause, as the cause, as the real cause. And then you have to discern your past existences and future existences, then to eliminate your doubt whether you have existed in the past or not, in what form you have been existed, and in what existence, and from what existence to another existence that you change in the past. And also, shall you be born again in the future or not born again? And in what type of existence you are going to be born, and how is your future at that time, and from what existence you are going to be born to another existence. So again, 5 future doubts, he said, and 6 future doubts due to the present. Are you alive or are you not alive? Or are you existing or are you not existing? In what form you are existing? From what existence you come to this existence? From this existence to what existence you go? So these have to be found out, and it can be done again in our international Pa-Auk forest meditation centers. Now, like in Visuddhimagga, they describe clearly, unless you can penetratively discern all these cause-or relation of dependent origination, you will never be enlightened as a noble person. So now we are very lucky again. In our Pa-Auk meditation center, you can do that. Then you get the purity of this doubt, the purity of the mind that transcend all the doubts. Then only we do vipassana. You can do the true vipassana now, because you see all ultimate mentality, material together with their causes. So you can reflect on them as impermanent and suffering and non-self, and also as disgusting. then you can develop 10 insight knowledges, and as soon as you can develop 10 insight knowledges, then you will go on. No? You will go on automatically to develop the path wisdom. No? The path wisdom, you realize Nibbana, and you are enlightened to noble person. So, no, to know this Four Noble Truth is very, very important. Now we have all the means, no, and all the facility where you can undertake this Three Four Noble training, no, to get to understand these Four Noble Truths penetratively and get enlightened as noble person and enjoy the, no, the eternal peace and happiness of Nibbana forever. Well, we stop, no, our talk here, and if you have questions, you are welcome, not to ask.
So in the beginning of your talk, you mentioned Mahasi Sayadaw's name and that you had practiced in that tradition. And I've done a little reading, and my understanding is that Mahasi Sayadaw never really spoke about the need for developing all of these jhanas or psychic abilities before one goes on to practice Vipassana. Yet, it also seemed that during the talk that was a very important aspect of the meditation as you're describing it today. So I guess, since you seem to have practiced in both traditions, is there such a thing as the vehicle of Vipassana only, or Vipassana Yanika, or is it that one does have to practice the jhanas before attaining Vipassana insight? And I guess the second part of that question would be, does everybody have the capability, due to their karma, to achieve the jhanas? And do we have the luxury to spend time developing jhanas when it seems what is so unique to the Buddhist teaching is the Vipassana?
Yes, I have meditated both in Mahasi method and now the Pa-Auk forest meditation method. I have meditated in both places. And then, unlike Mahasi Sayadaw, so they teach their way of training, So they are using, they say, Vipassana Yanika. So they say they don't need to develop, like the jhana concentration. So if you stick to the Vipassana Yanika way, then you will not develop the jhana, the jhana. But even then, according to our learning in the Visuddhi Magga, so it's very, very fortunate to know this Visuddhi Magga as well. You know that the true teaching of the Buddha. So nowadays, like even our the religious affairs in Myanmar, they also describe the manual of Buddhism for the people. So they describe like Mahasi method. They call teacher's method, Acharya Vada. The teacher's methods. So they don't follow the teaching of the Buddha exactly, though they say they are not following the Buddha's teaching. So as described in Visuddhi Magga, they don't follow it, and they don't align, and they cannot see this. When we say the body breaks down in ultimate materiality, so it's very difficult to see them. Even if they see them, they cannot analyze. And then, though they say they are doing Vipassana directly, if you ask the meditators, do you know what is the like contact, feeling, like the perception, the volition, like the mental factors? They will not know. They don't know. So without knowing this thing, so according to the teaching of the Buddha, you cannot do proper vipassana meditation. No? So actually I met the Pa-Auk teacher later, and when I studied his method, so he went strictly in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha. So when they say, oh, no, this is Pa-Auk forest method, no, Pa-Auk forest method, he said, only the Buddha's method, I am teaching only the Buddha's method, not my method, he said. No? So, in the whatever method you follow, like Samatha Yanika or Vipassana Yanika, you should do this Vipassana in the same way. Only the vehicle that you use are different. So in these Vipassana Yanika, you must attain the right concentration. The right concentration is characterized by the purity of the mind. So the Buddha, when he described the 7 stages of purification of the mind, in the Ratha Vinita Sutta, so he described with the 7 stage coaches, he said. So one stage goes, it runs in the boundary of the purity of morality. So when you attain the purity of morality, then you alight the next coach that runs in the area of the purity of the mind. So if you miss this coach, you cannot catch another coach, the Buddha said. So that means without developing the purity of the mind, you cannot go further to vipassana. You cannot go according to the teaching of the Buddha. So again, you can also see, if you don't get the purity of the mind, your mind is being blinded by these defilements, we call them. So in the book they also call them like hindrances, they call nivarana, or actually the moderate defilements that arise in your mind. So these defilements, the hindrances, so the Buddha compare them with like the boiling water, and the water covered with the moss, and like the dirty, muddy water, where you cannot see your reflection, the Buddha said. So the same thing. If you have the hindrance, you cannot see penetrate into your body, let alone analyzing those body and mind, the material groups and mental groups into ultimate mentality, materiality. So unless you can analyze the body and mind into ultimate mentality and materiality, you do not see clearly the anicca, dukkha, anatta, arising and dissolving, the impermanence, suffering and not self. You don't see them. If you don't see them, how can you do vipassana? That is our opinion. That is that is what I understand, what I learn from these. So I think you get the answer. So I'm very glad you can come and listen to the Dhamma. And then we are also willing to invite you to come and meditate in the International Pa-Auk Forest Buddha Sasana Meditation Centers, where the meditation is taught strictly in detail as taught by the Buddha. And we sincerely believe, if we follow the teaching of the Buddha as taught by the Buddha, we shall attain all the results described by the Buddha. So as we can do now, so that means we have still the chance to get enlightened as noble persons at this time. So we just say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.